Hello, my name is Sean Denley, um, and I chose to do my Autism Awareness Month project on the latest developments in autism. I work closely with children with autism. I'm a speech language pathologist apprentice, um, and I have the pleasure of working with a lot of these students because I'm very passionate about autism. Um, so these are just some of the latest developments that I found very interesting. The first one is single mutation leads to big effects in autism-related gene. Basically, it talks about why there is more boys being diagnosed, why boys are more likely to be diagnosed than girls. So the researchers were led by Dr. Catherine Roach, who compared two NLGN4 genes, one X chromosome and one Y chromosome. Those are important for establishing and maintaining synapses, the communication between neurons. Using biochemistry, molecular biology, and imaging tools, they discovered that proteins encoded by these genes display different functions. The NLGN4Y protein is less able to move to the cell surface in brain cells, which makes it therefore unable to assemble and maintain synapses, which makes it difficult for neurons to send signals to one another. The mutations in the NLGN4X can lead to widespread and potentially very severe effects in brain function. And they don't know what the role is of the NLGYN in Y. That's by Dr. Wen, who first published a study. She published it under Dr. Catherine Roach. They do see that the problems with the NLGN4Y were due to a single amino acid. They discovered that the amino acid in the NLGN4X is sensitive to mutations in humans. There are a cluster of variants found in this region in people with autism spectrum disorder, and these mutations result in a deficit in function for the NLGN4X that is indistinguishable from the NLGN4Y. So this continues. In females, when one of the NLGN4X genes has a mutation, the other one can often compensate. However, in males, diseases can occur when there's a mutation in the NLGN4X because there's no compensation from the NLGN4Y. The study suggests that if there is a mutation in the NLGN4X, that the NLGN4Y would not be able to take over because it is functionally a different protein. If the mutations occur in regions of the NLGN4X that affect the protein levels, that may result in autism-related symptoms, including intellectual deficits. The inability of the NLGN4Y to compensate for mutations in the NLGN4X may explain why males who only have one X chromosome tend to have a greater incidence of NLGN4X associated ASD than females do. The next one I read was autism eye scan that could lead to an early detection for autism, which means that not only can the children receive important interventions, but the families become more empowered to get the necessary supports in place where they can come to terms with the diagnosis and make informed decisions about what they should be doing. So the eye scan is a non-invasive eye scan that utilizes a handheld device to find a pattern of subtle electronic signals in the retina that are different in children on the autism spectrum, which are directly linked to differences in their brain development. The scan tested 180 people with and without autism, ages 5 to 21. Dr. Paul Constable, who's at the College of Nursing and Health Sciences at Flinders University, has been searching for an autism biomarker since 2006 in an effort to improve early detection and intervention methods after his own child was diagnosed with autism. He states that the retina is an extension of the brain made of neural tissue and connected to the brain by the optic nerve, so that is an ideal place to look. The test is a very quick, non-intrusive eye scan using a handheld device, and we anticipate it to be equally effective on younger children. This is a picture of them using the handheld eye scanner on one of the children. This article, autism screening rate soars because of the CHICA system. CHICA, which is short for Child Health Improvement through Computer Automation, was made in Regent Street Institute and Indiana University School of Medicine. It increased the autism screening rate at 24 months of age from 0 to 100%. CHICA is a computerized decision support tool that can interface with any electronic health record system. Responses to questions entered on the tablet computer by parents in the waiting room alert CHICA to produce personalized, evidence-based recommendations, allowing the pediatrician to focus on what the specific patient really needs. The CHICA may highlight the need for screening for autism, depression, diabetes, tuberculosis, or anemia, and it also counseling for parents on smoking or proper child seat installation. The process is completely animated, and I also put the link directly to Indiana University School of Medicine that goes to more detail about the CHICA system. The CHICA compiles the child's demographics, diagnosis, and medications, and then it selects 20 high-priority yes or no questions that cover a wide range of primary care issues to ask the family in English or Spanish. Then analyzes those responses to the questions. It conducts a health risk assessment and determines 6 most important prompts for the physician to ask the parents. It also has handouts on it that you can have printed out at the office. The CHICA has increased screening to 100%. This research study was very fascinating because I've seen the ADOS, and just reading through it was very fascinating. So this study finds inconsistencies in a broadly used autism test. The Autism Diagnostic Observation Schedule, or ADOS, assesses communication skills, social interaction, and play for children who may have autism or other developmental disorders. Researchers digitized the test by attaching wearable technology like Apple Watches to 2 clinicians and 52 children who came in 4 times and took 2 different versions of the test. A score of the entire cohort, they found, did not distribute normally. The results showed that switching clinicians may change a child's scores and consequently influence the diagnosis. Researchers found similar results when they analyzed open access data of 1,324 people ages 5 to 65. The ADOS test informs and steers much of the science of autism, and it has done great work for us so far. That quote is from Elizabeth Torres, who is an associate professor of psychology in Rutgers School of Arts and Sciences, and she's the director of the New Jersey Autism Center of Excellence. She also states, however, social interactions are much too complex and vast to be captured by the naked eye, particularly when the grader is biased to look for specific signs and to expect specific behaviors. Researchers suggest combining clinical observations with data from wearable biosensors such as smartwatches, smartphones, and other off-the-shelf technology. By doing so, they argue researchers may make data collection less invasive, lower the rate of false positives by using empirically derived statistics rather than assumed models, shorten the time to diagnosis, and make diagnosis more reliable and more objective for all clinicians. Ms. Torres also states researchers should aim for tests that capture the accelerated rate of change of neurodevelopment to help develop treatments that slow down the aging of the nervous system. This is her quote. Autism affects 1 out of 34 children in New Jersey, she said. Reliance on observational tests that do not tackle the neurological conditions of the child from an early age can be dangerous. Clinical tests like the ADOS score a child based on expected aspects of behaviors. These data are useful but subtle. Spontaneous aspects of natural behaviors, which are more variable and less predictable, remain hidden. These hidden aspects of behavior may hold important keys for personalized treatments, like protecting nerve cells against damage or impairment, which could delay or altogether stop progression. And these are my references of each one of those articles. Like I said, the ADOS and the Chica were the most fascinating just because I think it's great with the Chica where you're able to answer questions about your child, and that allows the doctor to ask the right questions to see if that child needs to be screened for autism or other things so we can get early intervention for these children. Thank you for listening.